Welcome back. Last time, we established that Bitcoin isn't the problem, our own behavior is. Today, we're going to explore what that really means. We live in a world that equates action with progress. Doing something, anything, feels more intelligent than doing nothing. We believe that if we just push the right buttons at the right time, we can control the outcome. But what if the most intelligent action is no action at all? What if real progress is found not in constant motion, but in deliberate stillness? This is the great paradox of a system like Bitcoin. It doesn't reward frantic activity, it rewards patience. And patience is perhaps the most misunderstood and undervalued skill in modern life. Why do we feel this overwhelming need to act? It's because inaction feels like losing control. When the market moves, our instinct tells us to move with it, to buy, to sell, to adjust our position. This urge stems from a deep-seated desire to influence our future, to feel like we are in the driver's seat. The financial world is built on this impulse. Breaking news, real-time charts, and expert opinions all create a sense of urgency. They whisper that if you don't act now, you will miss out or lose everything. This environment is designed to provoke an emotional response, because emotional participants are predictable participants. They buy when everyone is euphoric and sell when everyone is afraid. Silence and waiting feel unnatural. In those quiet moments, we are left alone with our thoughts, our doubts, and our fears. The impulse to do something is simply a way to escape that discomfort. But in doing so, we often walk directly into the traps set by the market's inherent volatility. This brings us to the core conflict: reaction versus discipline. A reaction is an emotional reflex. It's driven by fear, greed, or the simple anxiety of uncertainty. A disciplined decision, however, is based on a predefined framework. It is calm, structured, and detached from the noise of the moment. Reacting feels safe because it provides immediate relief from emotional pressure. Selling during a downturn stops the feeling of loss. Buying into a rally satisfies the fear of missing out. But these emotional decisions are incredibly dangerous over the long term. Why? Because they are inconsistent. One day, fear is your guide. The next day, it's greed. You become a ship without a rudder, tossed around by the waves of market sentiment. And these aren't just big mistakes made once or twice. They are small, reactive decisions repeated over and over. A little sell here, a panicked buy there. Each action seems insignificant on its own, but their cumulative effect is devastating. Over time, these small errors in judgment compound, slowly eroding not just your capital, but your conviction. Now, let's place this behavior in the context of Bitcoin. Bitcoin was not designed for traders who react to daily news. It was conceived as a long-term system, a predictable protocol operating on a fixed schedule over decades. Its core properties: a finite supply, a transparent issuance rate, a decentralized network are all designed for the long run. They unfold methodically, not erratically. When we bring impatience to a system built on patience, we create a fundamental conflict. We are trying to sprint in a marathon. Our human desire for immediate results clashes with the protocol's unhurried, mathematical certainty. This is why so many people misunderstand time in this space. They see a week, a month, or even a year of sideways or downward price movement and interpret it as risk. They believe the system is failing, but what they are actually experiencing is time. Time is the medium through which the Bitcoin protocol expresses itself. To be impatient with time is to be impatient with the very nature of the network. So, how do we align our behavior with the system's design? The answer is as simple as it is difficult. We learn to do nothing. Doing nothing is an active strategy. It requires more discipline than trading. It means consciously choosing to ignore the noise, to sit with the discomfort of uncertainty, and to trust the framework you established when you were thinking clearly. The greatest enemy of a sound long-term strategy is boredom. When nothing is happening, the mind begins to wander. It starts looking for problems to solve, for actions to take. This is when the worst decisions are made. You start to overanalyze, to second-guess your original thesis, to tweak your plan just for the sake of doing something. Patience isn't just about waiting, it is a protective shield. It protects your capital from emotionally driven mistakes, and it protects your mind from the exhaustion and anxiety that come from constant overstimulation. By choosing inaction, you are not being passive. You are actively preserving your two most important assets, your capital and your peace of mind. Over the years, you begin to see clear behavioral patterns emerge. They are what separate long-term outcomes more than anything else. You see one group of people who remain calm. They are not smarter, nor do they have secret information. They simply have a plan, and they have cultivated the discipline to stick to it. They understand that volatility is part of the process, not a signal that the process has failed. They read, they learn, they build their understanding, but they do not react to the daily drama. Then there is another group, trapped in a cycle. They buy with excitement, sell with panic, and re-enter with regret, often at a worse position than before. They repeat the same mistakes every cycle because they never address the root cause, their own reactive behavior. This is not a judgment. It is an observation of human nature interacting with a new and powerful financial system. The system itself is neutral. It simply reflects the behavior of its participants. Your outcome is a mirror of your discipline. Ultimately, Bitcoin is a journey of self-discovery disguised as a financial asset. It will relentlessly expose your weaknesses, your impatience, your fear, your need for control. It holds up a mirror and forces you to confront the person you see. You can try to control it, to outsmart it, to time its movements, or you can choose to focus on the one thing you can actually control, your own behavior. The goal is not to predict the future. The goal is to build a framework that is strong enough to withstand it, whatever it may bring. It's about finding clarity in a world filled with noise. It's about understanding that in the long run, the quiet, disciplined mind will always outperform the loud, emotional one. This is Bitcoin without noise.